Well, good morning. This is the first of our daily devotionals. We hope to bring you a new devotional every weekday morning at 10 a.m. And I had the privilege of starting things off. And this morning, I just want to spend a few moments sharing with you about worry. A very familiar passage, words of Jesus from Matthew 6, but I want to read this out of the message. And maybe it will help you hear it afresh and anew this morning. Jesus says, if you decide for God, living a life of God worship, it follows that you don't fuss about what's on the table at meal times or whether the clothes in your closet are in fashion. There's far more to your life than the food you put in your stomach, more to your outward appearance than the clothes you hang on your body. Look at the birds, free and unfettered. They're not tied down to a job description, careless in the care of God. And you count far more to Him than birds. Has anyone by fussing in front of the mirror ever gotten taller by so much as an inch? All this time and money wasted on fashion, do you think it makes that much difference? Instead of looking at the fashions, walk out into the fields and look at the wildflowers. They never primp or shop, but have you ever seen color and design quite like it? The 10 best dressed women and men in the country look shabby alongside them. If God gives such attention to the appearance of wildflowers, most of which you've never even seen, don't you think He'll attend to you and take pride in you, do His best for you? What I'm trying to do here is get you to relax, to not be so preoccupied with getting, so you can respond to God's giving. People who don't know God and the way He works fuss over these things, but you know both God and how He works. Steep your life in God reality, God initiative, God provisions. Don't worry about missing out. You'll find all your everyday human concerns will be met. Give your entire attention to what God is doing right now, and don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. God will help you deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. Well, I like that. It's a kind of a fresh remembrance of what Jesus has said. And simply, I just want to make this point to you, and that is, worry is a sign that I've made something bigger than God. That's what I like to keep in my mind, because worry is like a security alarm or a smoke detector that says, warning, warning, your priorities are a little bit messed up. Your ambitions are in the wrong place. So, maybe there's tension between you and somebody else. And just the thought of trying to straighten out that tension ties your stomach up in knots. And maybe you fear how they're going to react, or fear admitting that you're at fault, or fear doing the hard thing. But as you worry about that, it shows that you've let your fear become bigger than God. Or maybe you've got this presentation to make over Zoom because you can't do it in person, and it kind of paralyzes you with worry because you're about pleasing people or getting their approval, and that's because that's bigger than God. Or maybe you worry about your retirement accounts and all your money as the market fluctuates, the value of your house, the increase of your rent, whatever, those escalating expenses, and you fret. And it's because you make the economy bigger than God. Or maybe the possibility of failure fills you with anxiety. You're tormented by questions of like, what if I don't make it? What if this happens instead of this? What if I fail? Well, I think then your pride has become bigger than God. Those are just some examples, and there could be a million of them. Jesus calls us to make God our greatest ambition every day. And when we do, then worry becomes a waste of time. Every day we're tempted to make something bigger than God. Let stuff or worry eclipse God. We get consumed over this dilemma or this issue. And before we know it, it appears larger than God. Every worry I have is a sign that something in my life is bigger than my Creator, my Redeemer. Every day I need to shrink things down to their proper size and put God in His place. Let's do that today.